Yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. Rivera's got it. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. So the offense has it 1st and 10. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. A loss of 8 on the play, and it brings up 4th. And time for us to take a break here in the booth. Back to Heinz Field after this. So out now is the Seattle field goal team. From the right hash, this from 53. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And this will be a touchdown. We talk about it a lot. One of the dangers of the long field goal, you got to kind of hit it low and drive it. That makes it susceptible to a block here. Not only do they block it, they return it.
And how about how well they did on the return, where they didn't create a penalty? Oftentimes in that type of a scrambling situation, someone will clip, someone will block below the waist, right? You name it. In this case, though, that didn't happen. They formed it up, and he took it all the way back for a touchdown.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try?
And Gurley here fumbled it. Gurley fumbles the football. It's loose. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
They come out here in the eye. Here's Locke. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone. And it's caught. Touchdown. Benjamin Watson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. Now after the touchdown, it's Sturgis to send it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Wilson on second down. And he can't hang on. He had a good shot there for his third pick of the game. Instead, it's third down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
On third down, they'll run it with Gurley. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. So on 4th down, here's the veteran left-footed punter Donnie Jones to kick it away. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And out of bounds, this will depend on where they spot it, and they'll say at the 45. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A first down carry now for Miller. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
To throw on second down is Locke. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was looking to get it to his running back, Lamar Miller. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. 8 yards still remaining here on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Locke. Forced out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Carl Klug in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They are going for it. It's Locke. And it is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so. And they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
On first down, it's Gurley. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And now they're in the hurry-up.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt. One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some up.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Michael Rivera from 10 yards out. And the Seahawks are... Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. Now, after after the touchdown. It's Sturgis to send it away. Here comes Cobb. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Luck. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on third. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Being chased out left. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's at the cornerback position.
Now it's Gurley. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And as a result, possession switches hands. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. Second down now after the incompletion.
Well, that's the type of pass play that you need to wait for routes to develop. You need a little time in the pocket, but that's hard to do when you got people in your face.
It gets it over the middle to Cobb. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only...
Touchdown! Lamar Miller,